Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're doing well. For this video we'll be going through our trio of a unboxing, time-lapse and review of yet another blind box from the C01 rollout collection from the Blokees Wheels Transformers line. This will be, I believe it's now the 9th blind box. So there are 4 more blind boxes to go over the collection, gone through 8, which you can obviously look at on the channel. And in fact there's a playlist somewhere as well, just to make things a little bit easier. But yes, here we are, 9th blind box in, with only a few more to go before the collection is done. So straight into it, one of the faces of the blind box, with an image here of Optimus Prime, another face with Rodimus here as well, and then we do have one side that goes through each of the various vehicles within the C01 collection, some of their stats in terms of the actual chances, and they're also just an indication of some of those one in every X many surprise exclusive type ones. Anyway, and obviously just some of the other faces on the box. So that's the box. So from here on in, I'll just open the box, pull out the single bag, we'll find out who it is, and then I'll go into the time lapse. I'm kind of hoping, I would like it to be Mirage, but I will not complain if it's Runabout. We'll see how it goes. Okay, everything out of the box. We have the bag of all the parts and components, the box as we've seen earlier, the little character card and instructions are still in the box. I have no idea who it is, although based on the, I don't want to say difficulty, it wasn't difficult, I was just being careful. Based on how big the bag feels, I think it's an Optimus. So, I'll put that to the side. Find Terra Blend. Oh no, it does have that in. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Okay, so who is in this baggie? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is an Optimus. Okay, so I know this is an Optimus, like through and through I know, but I think it is actually one of the limited edition Optimus vehicles. So what I will do is, now I know why it felt ever so difficult to take stuff out. So yes, it is one of the limited Optimus vehicles. In fact, there's also that little figure there as well, which has no instructions, so I guess it's a case of, I think they're actually on the box. Yes, so the hidden edition will have the Blokees wheel driver as well, so I actually will need to refer to that part of the instruction box. But yes, this apparently is the Optimus Prime Titanium edition. How am I going to build him? I will probably build him with the actual spoiler, I guess, as opposed to the smokestack, since I've already done the smokestack. But yeah, I think I'll actually do him with the actual little spoiler effect on the back of his cab instead of the actual smokestack. But obviously, it is a replaceable display, so if I ever get so bored and inclined to, I can replace it out with the smokestack as well, which maybe we'll do at some point in time. Anyway, so what I'll do is, this will be an interesting time lapse, I'll sort out the parts for Optimus. I have built him before, so it shouldn't be too bad, and put them all together, and I will also try my hand at the little block figure here. I actually might do this separately, because obviously I want to cut those pieces out off the little runner, but I do want to know which pieces what in terms of numbering. So anyway, I guess time lapse. Okay, with the rather extensive time-lapse done, here we are with a completed titanium edition Optimus Prime, as well as the little, what is it called? Just the Blokees driver as well. Now I guess just to go through everything, so we obviously have Optimus here all done and dusted. So Optimus from the front, the side, the top, the other side, albeit upside down, the rear, the bottom, and a bit of an angled shot as well. So it's probably unfortunate. I don't think the video is doing this particular version of Optimus any justice with the actual sheen from the quote-unquote titanium effect, but it's very evident on a lot of these blue parts, these side tanks, the front grille, its back section, and of course the main red cab as well is in that very nice titanium finish. So at some point in time we'll be able to do a comparison, since I do have an Optimus Prime of a non-titanium version. We do get the optional smokestack as well. So this is the same smokestack that I've used on my previous Optimus Prime that's featured quite heavily throughout these videos. Obviously the character card and the instructions. So there's character card for Optimus, and on the back the instructions as well. And then lastly, we obviously have the Blokees Wheels driver. So the sprue will have basically the main torso and legs remaining, which isn't too bad, I guess. Surprisingly, it's not too bad to put together. It is a little fiddly. And then we do have the final driver there as well, who I hope I have put together correctly. I'm going to assume that I have, but I might have maybe I've done the arms the wrong way, I'm not too sure. But either way, that is pretty cool, albeit small. And obviously I'm quite surprised there's a little bit of articulation there as well. So we'll come back to that, and let's take this away for the time being. I guess we'll take the smokestack away again. So Optimus, we've already had a quick look at some of him. As I said already, it is a nice titanium finish from what I can see. The camera may be a little bit weird. Otherwise, Optimus is still very much Optimus with his traditional red, the blue, the black, and the silver. He does look very cool. And as I mentioned, I did prefer, well, I didn't prefer, I elected to use this particular sweeping part on the back of the cab, although it's not too difficult to basically detach this part of the model. Maybe, yes, and it's just basically a attach that, and it should be this way, I'd imagine. Yep. And then we can have a more traditional smokestack Optimus Prime. So there we go with the smokestacks there. And even the smokestacks have that nice little titanium finish that will be a little bit more evident compared to a normal Optimus. And I do like the titanium look. The blue does look a bit richer. The red is obviously richer, so we will get a bit of comparison between Optimus and a different iteration of Optimus later. Ironically, there's going to be a third Optimus somewhere in the collection. Now, as for this little guy, this will be interesting. Maybe I will I'll do this. So in terms of this little Blokees guy, he's not going to have any head rotation. His head and torso basically, they're not necessarily one piece. There is a little section there. So there is a section there that will obviously allow for that, where is it all? Oh, there is a... Maybe I didn't put these on in the right way. Anyway, let's try and do this. So there will be some of this crunching here at the waist, which is nice, and that's pretty much all the movement in the main upper body torso area. The arms are in a little ball socket, so they can freely swivel around. Just obviously be very careful. It is a small little guy. You could accidentally just pull them off the ball socket. In fact, most of this is either a clip-on or a ball socket. As for the legs, they're also a ball socket, but they can go that far back and that far forward. And believe it or not, there is a knee bend. So it wasn't for the fact that this thing is probably at the scale of 1/64. Surprisingly, a nice amount of articulation for something this small. Just obviously be careful. The joints aren't too big, so it doesn't need too much. Well, it's a little bit stiff, but it doesn't necessarily need too much force. In fact, the left leg's a little bit easier to use. So yeah, there you go. There's that little driver. I've mentioned in previous videos that once I had this little driver, I'd try and go back over different vehicles that have been within this C01 rollout collection. That is still the plan. I'm just not doing it in this video. But there we go. I can safely say I now have a driver. Okay, so let's just go back to normal. There we go. So that's the driver done. There's Optimus done. So I'll put the driver here for the time being. Now, here we usually do a bit of a comparison against previous releases. So I guess what we can do first is Titanium Optimus against Megatron. Now I have obviously put the smokestack on, so maybe I should have put the other one back on, but I guess it'll be useful when doing the comparison against the other Optimus. So that's Megatron and Optimus together. Now, funnily enough, even though he doesn't look it, Megatron does feel like he has a slight sheen to it. He doesn't really. He is supposed to be a bit of a matte silver, but I will admit, next to the Titanium Prime, he does look pretty cool. So that is Megatron. I guess against last week's review, Drag Strip. So Drag Strip will actually be able to give Optimus a bit of run for his money in terms of length, as did Megatron. And Drag Strip, once again, feels like he does have a bit more of a metallic finish. I guess maybe because more of that body is in that Solid X, I guess it's called. It's a metal type component. So that's obviously Prime and Drag Strip. And then lastly, to round out the Decepticons that I have for the series, Swindle and Optimus. Okay, so those are the Decepticons that I have. In terms of the Autobots, since I do have a few, this version of Optimus with gears. Nice matching colours. And obviously Gears has that nice little effect there happening in the background. Optimus and Swerve, so Gears, little sibling in terms of chassis, but the different colours and equipment do obviously go a long way. So that's two of the mini-bots. Going into some G1 lineage, Titanium Optimus with Prowl. Optimus and Hound. And then lastly, Optimus and Rodimus, the two primes together. Yes, maybe I should have actually put the, I might actually do that in a second. So that was Optimus against everything, and I guess the big one is Optimus and Optimus. So, on my left side is the actual Titanium, on the right side is the single standalone version of Optimus, so it's not going to have that additional finish. Now I can tell that red is a lot much more richer and darker on the Titanium because of the finish. I guess from the front, from the sides. Now here you actually might be able to see some of the differences in the blue. From the rear, I think here on the left and versus the right you can definitely see some of the differences. Top to bottom. So yes, those are Optimus and Optimus together. And I guess if I can ever so quickly do it, let's just do this. Try and take this smokestack off. Yes, I am actually doing it off screen at the moment. With a little bit of difficulty. There we go. Where's the driver going? Okay. Just for the sake of discussion, so Optimus and Optimus, one with the actual smokestack, one with that sweeping section on the cab. So from the front side it doesn't look too different, but obviously might actually be best to do it that way. So yes, there's Optimus with a different version on the back of the cab. Now firstly, yes, this Optimus is obviously dockable with his trailer. So for all intents and purposes, I could easily use the trailer on this version of Prime. Prime and roller. The roller's obviously not going to have a titanium finish, but it does look pretty cool against that. No, Prime will not go into his own trailer. That would be really weird though. Just for some lengthwise against the trailer and this titanium Prime. Now to be honest, the titanium version of Prime does look quite nice with the trailer, because the trailer obviously does have a very nice pseudo titanium finish as well, so I would also say that does look pretty cool as well. Actually, while we're here, I'm probably going to regret trying to do this, but okay, never mind. I was going to try and put the little guy into roller, but roller actually is very much a case of no one's sitting in me. Okay, so that is the comparison of pretty much all of Collection 1 that I have to date, as well as 01 Optimus as well. So with that all being done, just put this all back into screen. Just shove this over ever so slightly. I just realised Megatron's slightly off screen. So what do I think about this Prime? Now, I quite enjoyed putting Optimus Prime together the first time, so this is pretty much just a rehash of putting this version of Prime together, albeit it's now the titanium finish. Now, I'm usually a bit reserved when it comes to kits with a finish on it. But this will be the first time I actually say for a titanium version, I quite like it. Mainly because everything's already been, you know, detached and all cut out and everything. So I haven't actually, like, you know, compared to the driver here, I haven't had to take any pieces off runners, etc. Everything's already been done. So I don't feel that I've damaged any of the finish. So the finish is relatively all intact. So I think that is probably going to be one of the few times I will say I've quite enjoyed this as a titanium finish version. And I've seen a lot of titanium finish Gunpla. For me to actually say this is actually pretty cool, it's probably a big feat. So I think that is definitely a strong point for it, because it's not your traditional model kit. The build is really solid and good. I like how there is the options to go the traditional smokestack for those who are still very G1 centric, or if you're happy to adopt, I'm pretty sure it's the IDW Dreamwave type aesthetic on the cab, that is also an option as well. Either option looks good. I mean, I'm going to have a third Optimus at some point in time, so I'm going to have a mix anyway, but I think because of the titanium finish, this actually looks a lot nicer with that extra finish. But in saying that, there is going to be another Optimus in this collection who will be, you know, more like this. So I'll probably do it with the blue version of that, just for so I've got smokestack, this, you know, sweeping cab, and then the titanium version. I didn't go through the wheels, but obviously the wheels are all functional, and that's about the only real gimmick that Prime has, other than the changes to the back. Is there anything else to say about Prime? We've talked about the colours. As I said, I quite like the titanium edition on this, and in fact, just to say, Optimus Prime Titanium Edition is a 1/144. The Rodimus Titanium would have been nice, and then there is the hologram edition of Rodimus and Optimus, which were both at 5/144. So Those would have been very cool. I think this Rodimus version would have been very nice, but I'm not going to go chasing those. I'm sure there are people who have, but I do not need to buy however many boxes. What, 12 boxes? Maybe? That's a little bit steep and ridiculous. I'm happy with this one. My only negative about it is, once again, it's not so much the actual model. And if I had to cut out titaniums, that actually would have been it. But once again, it's just rehashing over the size of the instructions. Now, this wasn't too bad because I have built Optimus before, but if it's something brand new and you're not too familiar with some of these blocky wheels, it can be a little bit jarring. But it also depends. Are you recording a video when you're putting it together or not? If you're not, it probably is a bit of a moot point. And yes, because I didn't have to cut any pieces out, impacting the titanium finish is once again a moot point. So I'm very, very happy with this particular version of Optimus. Now, I guess with that being all done, I'm pretty much going to leave it there. This one's been a little bit of a lengthier video because, one, it's a special titanium prime, and two, the inclusion of this little Blokees driver as well, who will have a bit more of a feature in an upcoming video. Thank you very much for watching this combined unboxing, time-lapse and review video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram, as well as the YouTube community tab, which is just basically work in progress stuff. But feel free to check out whichever. I'll give an indication of what I'm pretty much actively working on, or trying to actively work on. With that being said, stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you all in a future video, whether it's next week's Blokees unboxing, which will be box number 10 of the collection, or something else on the channel. See ya.